Hello, and welcome to my EBA internship capstone presentation. Hello, my name is Elizabeth Bridgham, and I'm here to talk about my internship experience during the 2021-2022 school year at the Entrepreneur and Business Academy. I'm a high school senior in the academy, and at the beginning of this year, I was tasked with securing an internship. Luckily, I knew just who to turn to. As seen on the right is my lovely mentor, Carmelo Lou Alupis. She is a family and divorce lawyer who is certified to practice in Virginia and Texas. Not only is she an entrepreneur who established her own practice, but she's also a mother and a leader within her community. She's received multiple Rising Star Awards, was the president of the Virginia Women's Attorney Association, has won the Best Brief, and I could go on and on, but we'd be here all day. Now into our introduction. When I first started looking for an internship, I originally turned to Miss Reston at the chocolate factory. She offered me a spot, which I was more than grateful for, but it didn't feel right. At the same time, I was also pondering what I should go to college for and what I wanted to do with my life. When reflecting upon what I wanted and what current strengths I had, I realized that I like government and politics. Due to this, I kept looking for an internship that would impact my life outside of just a requirement. I have known Lou since I've lived in Virginia, and no matter what I've accomplished, doesn't matter how big or small, she has always supported me and cheered me on. I've also known how much networking she's done throughout her years of being a lawyer, and I knew I had to come to her. When we had a meeting, she suggested that I talk to another lawyer, Mr. Hamill, because he was running for office. I had a meeting with him, and he was honest with me. He was concerned that I would not get a meaningful experience and had to turn me back. I went back to Lou a little discouraged, but Lou was took me on her own, and I couldn't be more thankful. An overview of my internship. Within my internship, I've sat in on consultations, attended court cases, participated in trial prep, etc. My responsibilities include making copies, reading case files, and taking notes. Lou has taken me to 5 trials and 1 attorney's event. Due to confidentiality, I can't go into great detail about the cases, but what I can say is that each and every one has been an incredible experience. In the first quarter, I was granted the opportunity to attend a Virginia Women's Attorney meeting, where a bunch of female lawyers gathered together and talked about their successes and failures. It was one of the most inspiring events I've ever attended. One thing that was not professional was me trying to use the copy machine. I lost to almost every time, and Lou would walk right in and make sure it worked perfectly. But on a more serious note, my big task for Lou has been to focus on writing a paper about co-parenting and whether it actually works/is effective. Overall, I've had many enriching experiences, long-term benefits, and networking opportunities. An overview of my school activities. Within school, I have been focusing on writing my paper, keeping up with my blog, and updating my student portfolio. This year was slightly difficult because I was out for a month due to COVID, resulting in me lacking internship hours. However, Ms. Roots and I talked, and everything worked out in the end. After hours, the focus was the paper. We were doing it in stages, but I decided to finish early. The blog was honestly the hardest thing to keep up with because it needed to be updated so many times, but I'm very proud of how it turned out, along with my internship Instagram. Writing this blog has helped me broaden my writing skills and website building skills. One of the last big things to focus on was the end of my student portfolio. I had to complete this and completely redo it from Google Sites to Weebly because Google Sites was no longer a viable option. In the end, through the ups and downs, I am proud to say that I will finish the year off strong and appreciate all the work I put in. Here's my blog homepage. I have a homepage with a collage of some lawyer-themed pictures, my blog page, and an About Me section. This is what an entry looks like. What the blog was, how I got my internship, my first day, my research topic essays, recap of my first month, my observations of clients in Lou, my first trial, COVID update, New Year's Year update, meet my mentor, my return, my first non-heterosexual couple, losing to the copier, and highlighting a huge binder worth the paperwork, etc. are all a few of the captions/interests and main ideas of each of my posts. The link to my right is an active link that you can click on for more information in the actual blog. My Instagram. I mostly posted little updates as well as blog posts. Here are a few actual pictures. It was a challenge to keep up with Instagram because I can't take pictures of the client or even take my phone into the courthouse. I learned to manage by using the internet and taking pictures whenever I had the chance. Overall, I ended up utilizing my blog more over the Instagram because I had to keep up with that 3 times a month. In the Instagram, I was just posting like extra behind the scene events. Now that the basic information has been covered, it's time to talk about the topic I chose to write about and why. After evaluating different ideas and brainstorming with my mentor, I came to the conclusion that I wanted to know if gender had any impact on custody case outcomes. As many of us can relate, we don't usually come to a topic randomly. There's usually a connection. My connection is the fact that I have known Lou for a long time and the fact that I have divorced parents. My dad had majority custody of me, which was pretty hard to get, especially 10 plus years ago. I also have many friends who come from divorced parents, so this is a topic I am already passionate about. Since I worked for a divorce lawyer and I already was dedicated to this topic, I knew I was going to write about it. But for the record, I am very lucky to have the parents I do, especially to have ones that work together so well. Once I decided on a topic, Ms. Roots had us each make research roadmaps that consisted of 6 chunks. Chunk 1 was our introduction, Chunk 2 was our What Do I Want to Know section, Chunk 3 through 5 was our research, and Chunk 6 was our conclusion. Throughout this process, my chunk names changed a lot. I started off talking about the pros and cons of living with each parent, but then it was pointed out that I was using too many opinions and not enough facts. As I went through this process, it was important to be able to pivot and change directions whenever something wasn't working out. There were some days where I was so tired of writing, as many of my peers probably shared as well, but it was all worth it, the time and effort that I put into it. One big downfall I had is I misunderstood the assignment. I thought I was just supposed to write a paper about a topic related to my internship. Instead, I was supposed to write a research paper about how I changed or impacted the business I was working for. Luckily, I was able to still use the paper I wrote with some adjustments and explanation within this presentation. My initial hypothesis was that women almost automatically got the children just because they are the maternal parent, but that wasn't necessarily the case. Virginia does not have assumptions or automatic laws that place children with their mothers. Virginia instead has a statute with 10 points. Outside of the statute, I learned that most courts default to a co-parenting schedule where both parents share time with their children and work together in the best interest of them. Another interesting fact that I researched is the fact that in recent years there have been more homosexual relationships where you can't be gender biased even if you tried. In the end, I learned that custody is appointed to both parents or to the parent that follows all of the Virginia custody statute guidelines. Here are the 10 factors that affect custody according to Virginia law. Number 1, the age and physical/mental condition of the child. Number 2, the age and physical/mental condition of each parent. Number 3, the existing relationship between each parent and each child. Number 4, the child's needs. Number 5, the role that each parent has played/will play in the future. Number 6, how each parent nurtures the child's relationship with the other parent. Number 7, the willingness of each parent to maintain a close and continuing relationship with the child. Number 8, reasonable preference for the child. Number 9, history of family abuse or sexual abuse. And number 10, any other factors the court deems necessary and proper. In conclusion, I have spent my school year with Miss Lupus, who has enriched my senior year of high school by taking me in as an intern. I have been exposed to all aspects of attorney life, such as trial prep, consultations, trials, etc. At school, I reflected upon my expectations and experiences by writing a blog, creating an Instagram, and presenting my capstone. The topic I chose to write about for my paper revolved around gender discrimination within the courtroom, which was debunked based on the Virginia statute of custody and the rise of co-parenting. Overall, I had an impactful experience that will shape my future and possibly inspire me to pursue a pre-law route in college. Thank you to everyone for instilling knowledge onto me throughout my time in the academy. While I cannot put into words how lucky I am, I also hope I was able to give back throughout my time inside my internship and outside. I tried my best to give back to Lou through writing a publishable dissertation, being someone to bounce ideas off of, making copies, taking notes, and assisting with trial prep. Again, judges, teachers, mentors, I appreciate your time and dedication to the students of ChemSil. I greatly appreciate your time and hope you have a wonderful day. And this concludes my presentation.